right, welcome back to Enamored Reviews. If you are new here, welcome. Oh my God. listen, man. We're about to dive into The Color Purple, the reimagined story of 2023.
Right, the musical.
The musical, definitely a musical, but it's not the musical. It's The Color Purple, the reimagined story of 2023.
The musical.
Oh, okay, you just gonna keep on. If you are new to our channel or have not seen one of our discussions yet, let me break it down for you. We talk about really underlying themes, man. That's really our theme. We're not that kind of movie review channel where we really like dive into a full discussion where we're talking about the writers and things. We do touch on those things when it's kind of relative to the underlying themes and what they were trying to get at. However, man, we mostly just try to focus on themes and real topic generating discussions here, man. Just like our Enamored Podcast channel, which you can find is simply called Enamored Podcast. That is what we do here, man. And we're about to dive right in. We're not going to delay. Color Purple starring Fantasia Barrino. What did you think?
I thought, overall, that this was an excellent movie, right? There were a lot of missed points in this movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been more so because, of course, I compared it to the original. However,
Right.
I expected it, because of the original, I expected them to exceed the original. And I think that it didn't. It didn't really hit like the original for me. And that's even putting the musical aspect aside. The musical I just thought was going to be, oh my God, it's going to be overpowering. And I kept saying, please, God, please don't let this be like a musical when we go in here, right?
Right.
And it wasn't that.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a musical, but it didn't just give you, oh my God, this is a musical. Even though they hit you straight out the gate with a musical.
They do.
A musical selection.
They do.
From the A choir.
But but we have some great voices.
Right.
We have some great voices in Haley Bailey, who's becoming a pretty good actress, as well as y'all know she's a good singer. We had Fantasia Barrino, who if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time she has ever acted. If I'm not mistaken, Taraji P. Henson, who is a old soul powerful type of singer. Would you agree with that or
no?
No,
I wouldn't.
What would you say then?
As far
You
as
just gonna
singing?
disagree and then just no, I wouldn't.
As far as
like you gotta explain that.
I think she is more so of the one. I don't know if I would really classify her as a singer. Yes, can she sing? Absolutely, because it's hard out here for a pimp when you got to get the money for the rent. So we know that she can sing, but I still wouldn't look at Taraji as a singer. I wouldn't consider her a powerful singer either. But
powerful,
she did her thing.
Well, wait, let me say something though.
Okay.
Let me say something briefly, right?
Bad.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. By powerful, I don't mean that she's like a good singer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean powerful like the old women in church. You get what I'm saying?
I guess we just have to disagree on that one.
Okay.
I
It's no big deal. I don't think
like
she's cutting the album anytime soon, so it's no big deal, man.
She might give
So,
us a little
anywho, Taraji, we got who else sang
Danielle.
Danielle Brooks, I believe.
Yes.
That is, I know her as Tasty from Orange Is the New Black. She sung in there a couple times, I believe, on the show. I knew she could sing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's pretty much the singing cast. The women. I hope I'm not forgetting the singing.
the young version of Celie. And I don't know her name.
Yeah,
the actress who played the young version. She did very well as well. Everybody did well in their singing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that there were places that they threw a song in there that it absolutely didn't need it. For instance, the scene when you told Harpo to beat me, and they literally we were waiting for that line, and then immediately went into a song, and I was like,
Right.
why?
Right.
Why did you do that?
Right, man.
Why didn't you just let this part play out? Because of course that was a scene that we were ready for, we were looking for, because that's the iconic scene from the original. And to me, that scene was a disappointment.
I get what you're saying. She's a lot harsher on the film than myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was just taken away. Like my breath is taken away, literally, from the cinematography is an art, but the cinematography in here was just absolutely phenomenal, man. It was literally out of this world, man. It takes your mind and your imagination on a whole nother plane. Mm-hmm. I think that just for that alone is worthy of being viewed, for that alone, right? And obviously a lot of people viewed it. I don't have to tell you guys to go see it. You already have, and hopefully if you're watching this, you've already seen it, because we about to spoil it for you. But if you know the book or you know the story, it's nothing that we can spoil, because there's not really anything new here, right?
New.
I can't say that there's anything new. There was a reimagining, so it was new ways of getting there, I guess, and so to speak, but it wasn't anything new. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's get to what we get to about the story. What we got here is, of course, we have sex abuse. And for the longest, I thought it was actually incestual. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't. I don't know how that slipped me.
Well, you know what? I actually assumed the same thing, which makes me say I need to go back and look at the original again. Right.
I thought maybe it was just me, but I thought that was really her father that was abusing her.
Right.
But listen, it doesn't excuse it whatsoever. Doesn't excuse it.
Because he was still the father in her life.
Right. He was the father in her life, and he took advantage of her. And not only that, the mental warfare that he played on her was just absolutely crazy.
Right.
I mean, you snatch every child that she has, you taking it away from her.
Right.
Like, that's my child. I'm gonna do what I want to do with him. Man, I'm so glad. I was so glad when he died. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was so glad when that guy died, man, because that ish really like burnt me up, man.
Right.
Anyway, y'all I'll get upset thinking about it. But you guys understand that, man. So we had those things, and but what really stood out to me about that was the fact that it didn't seem as if she ever really hated him, though. Mm-hmm. It was as if she could, like, I don't know if it was her faith, but she could overcome it, right? And I don't want to say overcome like she should have done that. I'm saying like it seemed as if she was able to possibly forgive, even though that was never truly addressed. Right. But just the way that she carried herself made me feel like Celie carried herself.
Right.
Made me feel like she was able to forgive.
Well, I think that the only thing that she really wanted was her children. She didn't want her children taken from her. So
true.
Her prayer was for God to bring her children back.
Yep.
Because that was what her desire was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she could have put everything to the side had she just had her children. But in a sense, she did. She still put all of that, because she still endured more abuse from Mr.
Yeah.
She endured the pain of her sister being taken away from her, just like her children. So she had to relive that same abuse again, and she still persevered.
Yeah. The perversive spirit of that sexual perversive spirit is so strong, man. And what I mean by that is, because look at the reason why her sister left is because her sister was not going to give in to Celie's husband, Mr.
Right.
And he literally separated them due to his sickness. His you know what I'm saying?
Just to go back one, that's why she left her father, because after Celie was married off to Mr., she said that her father had then...
There you go. Another example.
Right.
Another example.
Came on to her, and she said, I wasn't going to do it, so I left.
Yep.
So that's how she ended up coming to Celie and Mr. And then, of course, Mr., he allowed some time to pass. But he turned around... Yeah,
I mean, I know how movies are, but
like, it did seem.
It seemed like it was
a little
yesterday.
bit of time.
I mean, tomorrow, the next day,
Right.
you know. But
I believe that a little bit of time had passed.
Okay.
It wasn't long though.
Before he tried.
Before he tried her.
Yeah.
But he took advantage of an opportunity of her walking by. Because she didn't give in, then he was like, "Well, you have to leave."
This something that came to my mind when we were watching the movie was and it's just something I want to throw out there. And if you guys know the answer to this, y'all can always go to our YouTube channel, leave it there, leave a comment there, man. Find us at Enamored Reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to know, were they half siblings? Was that his I'm losing her name at the moment. I'm sorry. Sister, her actual half sister?
I don't know. The way that it was portrayed here, I couldn't tell if that was her actual father or
right.
Did they share the same father?
Because what refrained him? Because we know that Celie was homely, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her sister was the more beautiful, right?
Right.
What refrained him from trying to mess with
Right.
her versus Celie? Like, what was it?
Right.
They were roughly about a year or two apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was just a thought that came to my mind. Was like we were saying earlier, did I miss some things in the original?
Right.
Am I missing something here? Because I want to read now. I haven't read the book, but I want to read the book now because a lot of stuff gets portrayed in books, right?
I did read the book, but that was like years ago. I was still in high school when I read it.
Right.
So,
and we know that had to be at least 30 years ago. So I can understand why you wouldn't remember, man. But hey, listen.
Y'all almost witnessed something on this channel.
Hey, listen, but it was just a thought, man. It's not that important. But if y'all know the answer, I would love to know that. Another thing we witnessed here outside of the sexual abuse was domestic violence.
Right, physical abuse, absolutely.
And man, I don't know if that made me madder. Did you know what I'm saying? But the domestic violence that Celie received for no apparent reason.
Right.
I mean, she did everything you asked of her.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you can't have Suge Avery or you going through whatever, you are so less of a man. You are so weak, man.
Right.
To keep putting your hands on that woman. That mess made me mad. Why was he continuously beating on that girl for no reason, man? What kind of sickness is that?
It was more so about flaunting the authority. And I think that's how she took it as well, because when Sophia wasn't minding Harpo,
mm-hmm.
Celie's reaction to it was she basically told Harpo when he reached out to her asking for advice on what to do, her reaction was beat her, right? Because that they feel as if that's what shows you have the authority,
the dominant, yeah,
right. I'm going to beat you and you're going to be submissive now. So then, of course, it takes us into our iconic scene. You told Harpo to beat me.
Right, the one that she had a problem with because it didn't grasp what it's supposed to grasp.
It didn't hit home like that original. Like,
yeah,
it didn't. I think she under-delivered on that scene, and then for the simple fact that they immediately went into a musical right after.
Yeah, it kind of took it away.
It just it didn't hit the same
right
for me.
No, so, I agree, but like I said before, I don't think that they were really trying to necessarily just be like the original. You know,
I agree, but my thing is when you have an iconic movie that you're known for these iconic scenes and phrases. Mm-hmm. I think that you should over deliver, if anything.
Right.
That you should exceed our expectations on those scenes, nonetheless. And
yeah, I
guess that's kind of what that's what made me not feel all that overjoyed about the movie.
Understood.
It left me disappointed because of that.
Yeah.
So
I understand. Mm-hmm. I was cool with it. I was cool. Right. I was cool with how they did everything. Given that it was such a new experience for me. Mm-hmm. it was a musical I actually enjoyed. I could actually go watch again,
Definitely.
just like Wonka, you know.
Right.
Wonka was as well, but I'm not a fan of musicals, and these two actually surprised me. I was forgiving, I guess I can say, you know. Back to, I'm so sorry. Back to where we were. I personally believe that if you have to put your hands on a woman in order for her to listen to you, then maybe you need to go back to the drawing board on yourself.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to say that nicely, in a nice way. Because there's still men here today that feel that way.
Right.
And then this whole talk about, especially nowadays with this whole alpha beta male crap that they talking about, man, alpha male doesn't have to walk around saying that he's an alpha male. Right. At least in my opinion, you know.
Well, because I know you put the disclaimer out there for the boys, but we also have 2 girls, and they know that no one is to put. All of our kids know that no one is to put their hands on you. Do believe, understand that if you put your hands on them, you will go back to the drawing board. And I don't say that lightly. You will definitely go back to the drawing board.
I know that's right.
And if any of my children have to encounter someone trying to abuse them physically, so I think that people need to learn how to express or show their authority in a different way.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
The authority, because even as we progress in the movie, when Sophia tells the mayor's wife that no, I won't come work for you.
Right.
And no, she didn't just say no. She said hell no.
Right.
But
hell no.
Right. Right. And she meant that. The immediate reaction was, because you are not respecting the authority that I feel like I have, now I must beat you down.
That touched me, man.
Yeah,
that really touched me. The whole Sophia situation, man. It really got to me, because here you have obviously a very, very strong black woman who
right.
She really stood on her own 2 grounds. She loved that boy Harpo to death, man. Right. They had their little differences or whatever, man, but she really stood 10 toes down, man. And then when they disrespected her and her family, and she stood up for herself with those racist white people, man, and she knocked that man on his tail. And they locked her up for 6 years. Right. 6 years, man, and y'all know how that plays out, man. With the whole segregation and the whole racist stuff, man. That stuff can be so maddening, man. I have literally had to start getting back in my word and start praying again, because of the whole race thing that's going on lately. Trying to temper myself again, man. Because you can if you're not careful, you can let all of this stuff get you in a very bad mind state.
Right.
And I'm trying to say it without saying what I really want to say. But the others can be a bit much at times towards us. Right. And they so easily dismiss it, because maybe it's not that particular person that's doing it, so that maybe we don't do that, or yeah, but we receive this stuff. It seemed like I'm not gonna say on a daily, but on a weekly basis. Right. We receive a lot of hateful characteristics, a lot of hateful behavior towards us, especially I'm talking personally. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Because of the industry I work in, man, I deal with this stuff. It's on a weekly basis, man, and it's really maddening, man. But to see her get 6 years behind that was crazy. Right. And that was absolutely insane to me. And it just kind of really sheds a light. And it's sad that a movie that came out in 1985 originally, who knows when the book was written, I'm assuming that was early 80s as well. A movie and a body of work that still resonates today. That just tells you how good that this body of work is, right?
Right.
And all of the themes that we are talking about still resonate today.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful thing. It is actually a sad thing as well, right?
Because that goes to show that in over 30 years we haven't progressed any. We are still in that same state.
Yeah, man.
As a society as a whole. So that is very disheartening to know and disappointing to know, and to know that people are still having to endure the same things that they had to endure over 30 years ago.
Absolutely, man. It's really heartbreaking, man. But that was present in this film, as well as Mr. Man. I guess we can say forgiveness was present. Mr. was withholding. He was withholding all of Celie's letters from her sister, from her, and I'm talking about for years.
Right.
She had been writing her. I think she said every week. Was it every week?
Yeah, at least every week.
She had been writing her sister like every week, right? And she received none of those letters until Shook Avery gave her one, and that kind of opened the floodgates for her departure. She finally grew. Right. She finally grew angry enough to, to leave. Right. Grew enough strength from watching Sophia in her ordeal. She grew enough strength to overcome that, man. And Celie, and I can appreciate forgiveness, man. I have needed forgiveness plenty of times in my life, man, and I received it as well. And I can appreciate forgiveness. I have given forgiveness where it wasn't necessarily I can't say that it wasn't by my accord. That kind of stuff comes from a higher power, for sure. It comes from God, right? From a belief system, from a relationship with God, trying to emulate God, being able to let go of past trauma, being able to let go of past hurt. That's where that can derive from. Because if it was up to me and my flesh, it would get really bad, Right. So being able to overcome that was to me was a big testament to her character, and as well to her faith. Now I can't say that I was thrilled about her forgiving him because of everything that he did to her, but she told him that iconic scene. And for those who are listening to us on the audio, I'm kind of put my fingers up like Celia did. Until you do right by me, everything you do everything you think about gonna fail. So now that's bad. Everything you think about. I just thought about it. Like that's pretty bad. Everything you think about.
And it truly did.
He
watched it all unfold.
It all fell down for him. Crops, everything.
Right. And it was in that last few times that he realized,
let me do right.
I need to really do right by her.
Yep. And so he helped her. He helped her get her sister back home. And it cost him some money, but he helped her get her sister home and her children.
Right.
Which was a big thing. But that last scene just took me out. Because of course we're getting close to the end of the conversation, but that last scene just took me out.
What scene was that?
You remember I pointed out to you when she reunited with her kids, and he's over there like this.
Right. Oh, in the background, like.
Oh my God. He's just such a changed person all of a sudden. Right. He just, oh my God.
Right. He is so touched. He is so moved.
This is like Lucifer coming back to God and joining the heavenly choir again. That's what that was like. It was like, are you kidding me? Right. Like really, like. I was just like, wow, bro. Like really. So, like I said, the forgiveness thing, man, I'm so glad she did it, because it's not always for the other person, it's for yourself, man.
Right.
And she couldn't walk around with all that hate on her, man. She was walking into her season of blessings, man. She really was. I mean, she got a store from a father who she didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like she was really moving into what was meant for her, and walking around with all that extra baggage and extra weight, that extra weight. It's no good, man. It's only thing it's going to do is weigh you down on your future journey.
Right.
Let it go.
Right.
Let
you
it
gotta
go,
get
man.
that hate out your heart.
Now that come from snowfall. That best come from snowfall. For your boy, you gotta get that hate about your
You
heart.
gotta get that hate out your heart.
She done busted me in the head with the
Right.
ball. Hey, look, man. Great conversation.
Definitely.
As always, if you made it this far, you might as well hit the subscribe button. I don't know what you're waiting on, man.
Right.
This is what we do. This is what we do, and it's only going to get better. Our studio is almost complete, man. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Just probably about a few more months, man. Just give me a few more months on it. And it's almost there, guys. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If you like this, leave a comment, man. Help us out with the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? We need all the help we can get. We cracked 100.
Woo-hoo!
We started doing this with Creed 3 was our first upload.
Yes.
And it feels like ages ago, but it wasn't. It was roughly about 9 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we cracked 100. And listen, I don't know nothing about YouTube. I don't know anything about podcasting.
No.
I know nothing about nothing, but I know a little bit about a little bit now. And I think we are trending upwardly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have faith that we can hit 1,000. I want to claim it by this year. Right? I want to claim 1,000 this year.
So y'all
man.
help us get there. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay engaged with us. You know, the more you all are engaged with us, tell us what you would like to see us do. What you do and don't like. We like feedback. Talk to us. Let us know some things. So we're looking forward to doing great things in 2024. This is just the beginning. 2024 is going to be an awesome year. So we want to have you all included in it. So we have so much planned for you guys in 2024. So be sure to follow so you can be blessed. All right?
All right.
We're out.
Somebody was a hero.